Welcome everybody. Nine's Corner. I'm Nine. Nice to meet you. And if you're returning, welcome back. I appreciate your time and I'm glad that you're here. But this is more or less an impromptu tarot reading that I wasn't planning on doing tonight. I was just about to do my weekly vibes, which I will be doing shortly after I do this reading, but this one it called for a reading immediately. I felt a very intense feeling of like, I need to get to this ASAP. And if you haven't checked out my weekly vibes, do so. They're fun. I really enjoy doing them, even though Anywho, I have to do this reading because I was watching the news and they were talking about the fact that Ukraine has hit Russia in Russia. And immediately it was like, okay, how is this going to affect Russia, the Russian people? Is it going to change their perspective or start changing their perspective on the war? Those who think that the war is for good reasons, will they start kind of questioning it? For those who know the truth of the situation, will that give them a better platform to say, hey guys, look. So it was just like, oh my goodness, we have to look at this, see how it's going to affect Russia and the Russian people, look and see how it's going to affect Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. And we also, for the fact that it's the month of April and we are going into the week of April 4th. We've done readings about this prior to. So it's just like, what does this week have to bring? So I thought the best way to kind of get this off the ground, see what's happening, is to look at a week in the life of Ukraine and then look at a week in the life of Russia and see what should we be expecting this week. So let's get directly into the reading because it's a quick one. I wasn't expecting to do it. Oh, my coffee cup is in here. Sorry, guys. I wasn't... I really and truly, I was sitting down just about to start my weekly vibes and just got hit with like, oh my God, a tsunami of like, wow, this has happened and what does this mean? So first, let's look at Ukraine. Let's look at Ukraine and see how is this development going to affect Ukraine for the next week? And then we'll look at Russia. We'll overlay the cards so we can see one compared to the other. So let's focus on Ukraine. What's going to happen coming up this week for Ukraine? Okay. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So coming in this week, slow and steady wins the race. Knight of Pentacles. I kind of get the feeling that here is an indication that somebody helped them, somebody outside of Ukraine who's supporting Ukraine said, hey, you know what, maybe you could target Russia's oil field there. There's like a information, knowledge that's been given. And on top of that, there's a plan. A set plan of, hey, we think if you do A, B, C, this is how the reaction could be. Or they might be, some interference or some pushing to kind of get the ball rolling, if that makes sense. The Devil. Yes, Ukraine has taken on the Devil. I think that's a very suiting card for Putin. I think that it is very evident that when his back was up against the wall and his military might was not anything like we thought it would be, it was dismal. I think that was when he decided to take it upon himself to go after Ukraine, go after the people. I was watching a news source and they were saying about the fact that for every one Ukrainian soldier, there's five Russian soldiers that have been killed. So for one Ukrainian soldier, 5 Russian soldiers. But when you add the people, the civilians, the ones that aren't in this war being hurt, it makes it like 5 to 5. It equals out the number. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think this is showing the inhuman things that are being done to these people, being done to their children, being done to the families, being done to their economy, being done to their land, being done to their culture. It is disgusting and it's gross that we are living through it. it's hard as a empathetic person, as somebody who really feels for their fellow man, to feel like we're sideswiping the situation and watching it happen, because this is the dark force being put out onto Ukraine. The Tower. You know, the reality is we're in war, and there's going to be consequences, and we'll look at Russia's cards as how they affect these ones, but it looks like there will be some type of retaliation from Putin. He is the devil. I think that card's pretty self-explanatory. We don't need to get into it too much. 5 of Wands. So look, there's just going to be a lot of fighting. We know this is what's happening. The Ukrainian people, they're pushing this. They are willing to fight for their land, and they're doing so much better than what they thought. So even though we've got the devil here, we got the Tower here, they're still going to be able to fight the good fight. We got the 8 of Wands. So this week there's going to be a lot of things happen, a lot of information. There's going to be a lot of news information. I think that's going to be coming on both sides. The propaganda in Russia, and then, you know, it's just going to be a very eventful week. So there's going to be a lot of info, a lot of fast movement. You know, with the 8 of Wands here, when we look at this as a time card, because I do not like looking at time when it comes to tarot, because oftentimes, one, I'm not right, because we could get into this long, involved story about, you know, human free will, and the fact that, you know, if somebody says something to you, it already changes how you're going to continue that day. Knowledge is power, and power changes you. So I when it comes to timings, I don't really particularly like to do timings, because even if you think I'm wrong now, wait 2 years and it'll end up being, oh, there's something here now. Just like the Merrick Garland, for the longest time, you know, even I was like, what is happening here? This guy's not doing anything. But the cards kept pushing and saying, no, it's okay, keep going. But when I get the 8 of Wands in a reading, I just feel like things are going to be moving quickly, and that it's going to be happening over the next 2 months, which gives me hope that this could mean that instead of looking at the war in the terms of years, we could be looking at in the terms of weeks or months. But I'm thinking with the 8 of Wands here, it's more like weeks. So we could be looking at, you know, June or July, saying, thank God that is over. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got the 7 of Cups. With the 7 of Cups, they're regrouping. They're trying to. There's so many options here, and all the options have consequences, and they are flying by the seat of their pants. This is not something that you can prepare for. You have to go for it. So they have a lot of options. Like I said in the beginning, I do believe that they have been given help strategically, not just when it comes to, you know, arming them or helping them. I think that they've gotten somebody who said, hey, listen, here's some strategic plans that could try to accelerate this, to get this over as quickly, and for you to be in charge. I just get this feeling. So I think here is the continuation. So whatever is going to be happening here, they will survive to fight another day. Change is inevitable, and for change to happen, you have to have that Tower moment where the things fall apart. So for 7, the Chariot, willpower. I think this week is going to be a very eventful week, and I think how they react to the events of this week is going to affect the future of how this is going to work out. It's like this is a moving target, and it just, you know, you kind of you've got to allow for the unknown to affect the outcome. So let's just, we got 7 days of the week here for Ukraine. Let's look at the seven days for Russia. Death. Oh. I know I tiptoe around the subject of death in the sense that instead of looking at this as a transformation, looking at this as an actual death, because I don't believe that anybody has the ability to tell when somebody's going to no longer be. And I just feel really uncomfortable around the subject. I'm okay with death and dying and all that kind of stuff, but when it comes to reading it, I don't like putting out that terminology. So I usually tiptoe around it. For the sake of this reading, and I hope you don't get mad at me, I'm going to not tiptoe around as much as I usually do. I think the death card coming up for Russia is going to be the influx of bodies that are going to be to Russia. I think that the people of Russia are going to have a rude awakening and realize the devil is Putin. They're going to realize slowly but surely, because it's going to be a slow start, a slow turn, that they're going to realize. I think that Putin's time has been marked. We've talked about it. We've tiptoed around it. I think it's very possible that over the next couple of months, this is the strongest time that Putin might be no longer on this earth. We have the King of Swords, and look at that. It's looking back at the death card, the King of Swords, off with his head. This is no nonsense. There is somebody going after Putin. Oh my God. When I read about Ukraine and I got the devil, I was like, look, this is Putin. He's willing to do anything to anybody. And here we've got the King of Swords. I think Putin is going to go insane, and he's going to just want to react without thinking it through. For the Tower, we got the World. Something's going to happen on a world stage. We're going to see it. It's not going to be something small that we won't be aware of. It's going to be something that's going to happen, and we're all going to hear about it. It's going to be on the world stage, and it's going to be the beginning of the end for this situation. I strongly feel it. Judgment. Judgment will befall Putin within the next 2 months. Is this okay? Interesting. I love having the double cards because it's almost like I'm able to have a conversation. Sometimes I really wish I had somebody else there. You know, like Psychic Violetta does. Sometimes she has somebody asking her the questions. Because I find a lot of times if I wish I could record all the videos I do, because my husband and I, when in time we're talking about something or the news is on, there's tarot cards all over the place. So it's always like, no, shuffle your cards, see what's happening. I wish I could record all over the house what we do. But anywho. Here they are in the Ukrainian line. They're having all these plans, and they're trying to figure out which one, because there's just so many multiple ways to go, and some of them will end up in good results, some of them will end up in bad results. But this is my card of saying, look, there's going to be a twist of fate here. There's going to be a way in which this is going to work out better than anybody expected. It's like, it's such a harsh reading in the one sense that there's so much pain that has to go through. But at the same time, I'm just seeing like, okay, Putin, not good for you, my friend, especially over the next 2 months, or, you know, within the next, 2 months. And maybe even this week, we might hear about an attempt on his life, if not more. But this is saying, hey, you know what, Russia? This is going to be the possibility of a change that is more positive than anybody expected. This could be a change for Russia. This could literally be the bring down of Putin and the uprise of Russia. Oh my God, do you feel it? Do you feel it? We got the Two of Pentacles. For the Russian people, it's really about having to try to figure out what way is this working? Like there's going to be information coming out or lack of information coming out. So how do you get this information to the people? How do they take this information in to see it as it is? This is truly going to be the change that needs to happen. It's finally going to be the thing that's going to make people question. The Russian people will be forced to have their eyes open. They're going to see things for what they are. Things are going to they're going to work out better than we're expecting. There's going to be a twist of fate. I see the timeline as being over the next 8 weeks or 8 months, but I really feel like it's 8 weeks. We've got Russia and the Russian people trying to navigate the two situations. What's real, what's false, what's reality. End result. Hope. Oh, I really strongly feel that this is a situation in which this next week could truly, if the stars align the way that we need for them to do, that this week could truly be a pivotal time for change. This could mark the ending of the war, or at least start the countdown to the ending, because I think just wow. Something unexpected, a twist of fate is going to happen that's going to change things in Russia, and it's going to be a beacon of hope. Well, I am just completely chuffed that I decided to do this reading. I think there was a reason why I needed to do this reading, because I think there is something to what we just did. I really believe we are witnessing history in a way just mind-blowing. So that's my reading, our little impromptu. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I keep looking at the cards because they're just so significant. There's so many major arcanas, and it's just so much of a story there. I could spend another hour just looking at it and repeating. And anyway, as always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. And until the next time we chat, cheerio, take care, my friends.